Welcome back to YouTube channel EzyMentor. So now I have created another data. So we are going to discuss chi-square again using this data. Later we were discussing same kind of data. So there's a change. There's a small change in this. Here in proficiency in maths, there are three categorical variables: yes, no, and average. And in gender, same as previous videos, female and male. So here we can see serial numbers are up to 80, which means there are 80 observations in this data. Previous video there was only little observation. So in this data there are 80 observations. And on previous videos we know we were accepting H0, which means there were no association between two variables. We are discussing after all the analysis we got the result as there is no association between gender and that variable, that previous video's variable. But here we want to check whether we need to accept H0 or we need to reject H0. So first of all, we are going to create the pivot table using this data, and then we will import the data into this tables. And we can see already I have created and an equation is set up here. You can see there's an equation inside this column. In this cell BF20 there is a equation. So I have created an equation. I have automated with some equations. I have created some equations inside this expected frequencies tables, also in chi-square. Here we can see, and here we can see like this. Here already there is some equations from the previous videos. You can check out my previous videos to understand what are the equations coming under here. And we are going to discuss only about how will be the p-value and how will be the exception or accept or reject. We will accept H0 or we will reject H0. We want to check that using this data. So let us move to the analysis part. Select the data, go to insert, same as the same procedures of previous videos. We were creating pivot table using the same data given in the sheet and give the existing location as anywhere else. Then click on OK. Then just move to here and drag gender. You can see in my table gender is in columns, so I am going to give gender into columns and proficiency in max into rows, and I want count of gender. So you can see, let's see what will happen if I drag serial number and I change sum into I dragged serial number into values and I change sum into count. Click on OK. You can see same data, nothing different. Same data. As I just remove this and I drag again gender into this, you can see same data. So everything comes from logic. We need to think what will happen if I give a serial number inside that. If it came a sum, it will be adding all the serial numbers. Or if I change into the count, we will get the proper result. Like that. We need to think logically how it will come, how we need to see the data. Then move this. I am going to drag data from the pivot table. So give equals, click on here, enter, same. If we drag, let me see, we can see we are getting correct. No, we are not getting correct answer because here the cell reference is changing. So we will not get the proper result. So just delete. We need to drag every time we need to drag. Okay. So you can see within a short period of time I have created everything. So it's if I show everything in this video, it will be boring. So I just cut out that part. I went to my area and I created the table and I came back again. Okay, leave it. So here's the data. We got the data, and I told previously that there is already an equation here. You can double click on the equation. You can see this is a selections inside this equation: F14, H11, and H14. Like this, everything. Just click on here. You can see what's happening in here. So we got the observed frequency table as well as the expected frequencies table. So inside this, using this data, we created chi-square observations for all the observations, all the groups coming here. Means here the chi-square equation is observed minus expected all square minus expected divided by expected value. So this is the equation, and we have created an equation, its correct section, which means F11 minus F20 the whole square by F20. Then press enter and drag to here as well as drag to here. You can see there is no changes, which means like this we can do properly draggings if the selections are correct. And we got here the chi-square statistic value as 16 point, which is already we given an equation here, which is the sum of all the chi-square observations, chi-square statistics values. Which means we have to find out chi-square for all the groups, and we are summing up the chi-square, all the chi-square values together in here. And degrees of freedom is 2. Why it is degrees of freedom is 2? Have you think of? Because here there are 3 rows. 1 to 3. So 3 minus 1 into 2 minus 1, which is equal to 2. And here we got the p-value. Some mistake in p-value, I think. No, there's no mistake. Correct. Then press enter. So we got the p-value, and let's see what is the result. Here the result is, if the value of F43 is greater than 0.05, we need to accept H node or we need to reject H node. So let's see what's happening. Here it is, reject H node. Reject H node means go to the top and see our hypothesis, that here we have two hypotheses, H node and H1. Reject H node means reject H node and accept H1. So our chi-square analysis, here we selected H1, which means gender and proficiency in maths. There is some relationships. What are relationships? You can see from the data itself. Here you can see females have mostly told average, which means most of the females are average in proficiency in the maths. Most of the females, that means 29 students in the data, females are telling their proficiency in maths is average. As well as you can see here in the males, only 5 are telling. Only 5 are telling that I am average in proficiency in the maths. I am average in maths. Then you can see here also, most of the males are telling they are very good in maths. You can see from the results itself, they are telling they are very good in maths. These are the outputs we are getting from a chi-square test. So if the two variables are we are getting that if the two variables are related to each other, means like this we can tell some results from the table itself. We can interpret result like this. Okay, then thank you for today. Bye bye.